Welcome, everybody, to the Craft Beer Republic and to 818 Brewing. Cheers, everybody. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for making some noise. I am Greg, host of Craft Beer Republic. I'm being joined by three gorgeous individuals. We'll just start all the way at the bottom. We got Mr. Blue Eyes over there. That's the homie Chew Your Beer.
Cuba homies!
And then the taxpayer and the paper pusher. It's Brian Olson right there. And if you love the beer you're drinking, this is the guy that made it. This is Derrick Olson.
Cheers, everybody.
And if you don't love it, it's Chew's fault. So talk to him afterwards. Thanks again, all you guys, for coming out here. This is so much fun. We're here mainly because Chew Your Beer was incessant enough to... Toxic and like toxically.
Toxica.
Yeah, exactly. Wouldn't shut up and finally convinced these guys to do a collab of fantastic proportions. So we'll get into that in just a couple of seconds.
He bribed us with pozole.
Yeah, the pozole was used as a bribing agent. Apparently it worked. In fact, the pozole queen is back there in the corner too. So shout out to Mama Chew. That was amazing. Real quick, a little housekeeping. If you haven't heard it, we hung out with Bryan and Derrick in 2018, back on batch 122. So if you want to go back to like how it all started, how 818 began, go back, batch 122, listen to that. Backgrounds, brewing history. Derrick's a rocket scientist. You'll learn all about that. That's why he's always wearing rocket science t-shirts. Right? I mean, tell me about it.
They still fit.
It's that Pandemic 15. And then what it took to get this place up and going. So go back to 122 if you guys want to learn all about their history. And then someday maybe we'll do a deep dive on Chew Your Beer and his history.
Okay.
Might turn into a therapy session. So anyways, we are gathered here today to talk about the union between Chew Your Beer and 818 Brewing. Before we talk about the collab, let's just try the beer. I don't want to waste any more time. Who wants to Chew? Tell us what the name of this beer is.
The name of the beer is Flantastico.
That's right. I like it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know, it was a dream, homie.
Yeah.
Drunk in the toilet.
Cheers, good.
That's the first thing I thought about. Just kidding. It's salud, homie. Salud, Greg.
Cheers.
It's I don't know. I like desserts. I'm a big boy. I like sweets. And I like to drink my sweets. And what way to make is make a beer that's semi-sweet, semi-crisp, clean and clear. So that's...
Is that you? Semi-sweet, semi-crisp?
Wife? That's a yes.
Yeah, I think so. No answer is the best
sweet.
answer.
Blond is one of my favorite desserts.
It's delicious.
Next to tres leches cake.
Yeah. Where did the idea come from?
Was drunk, hit my head, saw stars. Instead of a flux capacitor.
I was going to say, did you draw the
I saw
plans?
a flan.
The flan capacitor?
Flan capacitor.
Yeah, yeah.
So instead of a DeLorean, I was in a 64 Impala.
All the way back in 1955?
There you go.
Yeah. Good.
No, so it's just, man, when you eat flan, when you order it, you don't even chew it. You just drink it. You slurp it. Goes down smooth and crisp and clear. Why not make a beer?
Yeah.
I
don't think that's how I've ever described flan, but that's just fine.
You're never drunk when you're eating flan, big dog.
Not drunk enough. Derrick, Chew, whoever wants to take this, how'd you guys come up with the recipe on this? I feel like this is probably a Derrick question.
Well, Chew definitely drove it through with like, hey, this is something I can drink it is crisp. It does have that sweetness. It has the vanilla component and a little bit of coffee and texture. So those are hard things to accomplish with a blonde ale, or not a blonde ale, a golden ale.
Golden ale.
Love that description.
We're in California, man. The land of the gold.
Where does that texture come from?
We use, I actually screwed up in the description of the beer, so don't pay attention to that. There's not wheat in it. It's wheat, or wheat. It's oats, a mixture of oats and rolled barley. So that adds that protein, adds the extra texture to the beer. We used around 25, 27 vanilla beans, and finished it with a little bit of medium roast coffee.
I think so.
Or light roast coffee, sorry. And the coffee gives it that complexity. So I was not familiar that. So you usually put a little like Kahlua on top of flan.
When you're drunk, yeah.
No rules when you're drunk.
There's no rules when you're eating flan, man. Calories go out the door.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
No.
It's like ice cream, just kind of like fills in the nooks and crannies, right? I mean,
when you're happy, nothing matters.
Yeah.
Chew is the system. Like, hey, we got to have that little touch of coffee, and I was worried about it. That would be too overpowering, and we were really light with it, and I think it totally rounded everything out, gave it the complexity, and so yeah, you're gonna get that vanilla note. It is still crisp, light sweetness that builds as you drink it, and that slight coffee note that gives you that complexity and richness. Like the after flavor is just a straight. Like after you took a bite of flan, you know.
Yeah.
So
and
I think it worked out phenomenal.
Yeah, it really did. That vanilla really stands out to me. I don't know about you guys, but lots of vanilla. I like anything fancy about the coffee.
No, we were in a rush. We just got it over right. It was First Street Coffee. Yeah.
Oh, Folgers.
It's in your cup.
Yeah. Well, very nice. It's good. Did it come out the way you guys envisioned it? Better, worse, same, different?
Honestly, the way I thought about it is what I'm drinking in my cup.
All right.
I didn't want it too sweet. I didn't want it too bitter. I want it very just as you drink it, you get different notes.
Yeah.
And in my head, that's Derrick is the artist here.
Right.
I just come up with them ideas.
I mean, he's literally a rocket scientist.
I've got a lot of help over there in the brewery. We got three amazing brewers over there. Our head brewer Ardo helped me out with the dosing and everything on the 1 barrel system. This is a small batch, so we've only got 4 or 5 gallon kegs of this. So
drink it fast.
A nano batch, and we will definitely throw this one through again and bump it up in volume. I promise. But so Ardo and the brewery team, Ivan and Antonio, definitely helped out with this one. So good group of brewers here at 818, and we appreciate the challenge and are always up to it.
Let's make more.
Yeah.
How much do we need to sell today in order to get this like on a semi-regular rotation?
All 4 kegs.
All 4 kegs. Did you guys hear that? All 4 kegs need to go today.
One's down though.
Yeah. Oh, we're down 1 already. So we're a quarter of the way there, guys. Good job. All right, let's get in some questions. By the way, is everybody drinking the Flantastico? Okay. How much do you guys like it? Thank you. Nothing like a good cheap pop over here. All right, let's get into some questions. Let's find out about these guys. Thank you to everyone that has submitted listener questions already. I've got some on my phone. I've got some papers right here. If anybody hasn't had a chance, there's forms over here. You can also scan the QR code. Those will come straight to me. Let's kick things off. Like I said, we caught up last in 2018. It's November of 2018. We didn't even know the homie Chew Your Beer yet. It's where we met Fontana Jim for the first time. He was here, and
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I apologize.
And he's not here. It's all your fault. How have things changed around the brewery since 2018? I don't know if you guys have heard this. There was a pandemic of sorts. I heard you couldn't have people drinking beer for a while. I choose not to remember that. Anyways, what's changed since 2018?
I don't know. We had to work through the whole thing.
Mr. No Days Off.
A lot, man. Damn.
Yeah, it's so we had. I guess we had. We took probably like about a solid 2 weeks off, and then we found out from our Brewers Association and the Craft CCPA, California Craft Beer Association.
Those guys.
Yeah, those guys that definitely helped us a ton with information, legislation, and pushing that craft breweries can be open through the pandemic, and we're deemed essential businesses. We all need beer. We need to survive, and
we definitely all need
keep
beer.
Our sanity.
Yeah.
So that allowed us to open up. We fought a lot of obstacles through that. We were shut down by the building department. They came in here and told us we can't operate, and we were just doing to-goes. We were doing everything safely, kept people outside and at 6 foot distance. We're filling growlers, and everything. They tried to shut us down. We kept going because we had all this stuff from the CCBA and our guild, everything up in the Capitol. And then the LAPD came down because they told them we weren't complying, and they basically said, "Hey, we're informed that you're not in compliance with blah 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 whatever." But they were also a lot of regulars at the tap room, and so they're not going to do anything. So We kept going until the next week when they unanimously across the city approved us. About 2 weeks, maybe 2 weeks later. Yeah. And we were good.
You have to pull the easy E on them?
No.
Okay. Glad to hear it. I love that they're all regulars. It's like coming in like, hey guys, we were told to come over here. We don't really want to, that kind of thing.
We're a community brewery. We support everybody in our community and so we take care of each other.
Yeah, that's amazing. What was one of the positives that came out of that?
Cans.
Absolutely.
We're in cans
Packaging.
now. Yeah.
Were you not in cans before? You were in
Nope.
cans before.
Nope.
Just bottles.
We
Oh,
bought,
that's right.
about a week into the pandemic, we sat down and decided that everything's going to be packaging, and we said we got to buy a canning line.
Yeah.
So
All right, so cans was one of the nice, and as a consumer of beer, cans have been great for me because go around pick up cans. Derrick, you since the last time we were here, you brought on some brewing help. You kind of alluded to it.
Yeah.
Who's helping you in the brew house these days?
I have a head brewer now, so I'm no longer having to do the majority of the work out there, and I'm allowed to kind of be creative and have a team to support and bounce ideas off of. So we've got 3 people in the brew house right now. Ardo is our head brewer, and he's still pretty new. He's
about 9 months, maybe?
About 9 months, yeah. We have Antonio is assistant brewer, and Ivan's our cellarman. They're just gelling. They're a great team. They're back there cranking it, and pretty much drive the schedule, drive the ship, and they handle it and make sure things are done correctly. And
Nice.
and both
pull down the quality.
both Ivan and Tony come from our roots, home brewing. So both of them worked in the tasting room as beer tenders, and now they're in the back brewery.
Tony was a SoCal cervecero. We had one of their meetings back here that he kind of helped put together, and so we're home brewers there. Yeah, it's just kind of works.
And is Chew one of your interns now, or working for
just a
school
homie.
credit?
I'm the homie that won't leave.
He's still looking for his paycheck.
I'm the primo homie.
The red stapler.
My DMs will never be the same.
Yeah. Your DMs will never be safe again. Chew, what was your brew day like making Flantastico?
Ask my son. He's the one lifting all the heavy stuff.
Oh.
I was just the beautiful face.
Oh,
behind
well, everyone's got to have one.
It was actually for me not the first or the last. You seen La Bamba? You know what I'm talking about. It's exciting for some, for a brewery, independent brewery, 2 gentlemen to let you come in and ruin everything they've made.
Yeah. Mess everything
Derrick's
up.
beers are mainly just core 4. Water, hops, malt. What's the other one? Yeast. Well, I was going to say time. But, for them to take something like what I wanted that has a little bit of adjuncts, to me it means a lot. I really appreciate these guys for accepting me and my dumb ideas into the brewery and making something happen. If you don't chase your ideas or your dreams, you don't make them happen. And these guys were my tools to make it happen. So I appreciate them. Hats off to them. The brew day, it's a small batch. So
Right.
It's not a lot of work.
And they get you in there. Are you graining out? Like, are you pulling
Right.
some labor? Come on.
What? Yeah. But just that much alone means a lot to me. And I appreciate you, Derrick and Bryan, for accepting my idea and making it happen. My glass is empty.
We'll cheers later.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But
You got good ideas, man.
I was just happy to have my son here and be part of it too at the same time.
Who recently turned 21, right?
Legal, baby.
Yeah. Legal alcoholic now. That's so good.
What do they call it? DD, designated driver.
Well, not anymore.
Oh, damn.
All right. Before we move on to the next question, we want to work a flight into here, start talking about some beers.
It's
Chew your
4
beer.
beers that I usually. This is my home base. So Receipt Rye is my beer that I drink here. We're out of it because I was here and I drank it all. So I picked 4 other beers that I enjoy
Okay.
while I'm here. And we will enjoy, and Derrick would let us know what we are sucking down.
Whoa.
And everybody out there, you can order it and suck it down with us and enjoy what we're sucking on.
This is really
Brown
turned the
chicken
show.
burger.
Let's talk about the beer that's in front of us. Derrick, you want to kick this off?
Yeah.
Old Valley Girl.
This is Valley Girl Blonde.
Yeah, this is our staple. Valley Girl Blonde. We brew the most of this one. It's a blonde ale. We brew with Kolsch yeast, 5.6%. little Amarillo hop on the end, so you get some citrus. But yeah, nice, easy drinking, but yet full body blonde. So this is the route you go if you're not looking for a lager, lighter beer.
I like to call this
kind of
my
middle ground.
yeah, it's like your football Sunday beer.
Yeah,
you're gonna drink this all day and you'll still be able to watch the night game.
Yep.
This is the beer where you convert your wife into a craft beer drinker. This is the beer that
Is that the case? Is that true?
This is the beer that made my wife my ride or die craft beer.
This is our gateway beer for sure.
I find that a lot of blondes and like soury type beers really help bring the non-beer drinkers in. Hey, this tastes a little bit like a white wine. Come on in, everybody. The pool is fine. Yeah, this is great. All right, so let's talk about some more beer stuff. I don't know who wants to answer. Derrick, Bryan, I'll let you guys choose. I know Derrick does more of the brewing operations, but what's been your most, in fact, you can both answer. What's been your most fun or rewarding beer to make? It could be like the most adjuncty, or maybe you made one where like no cleaning was required afterwards.
That's never happens.
I mean, I always default to like the worst. Those are usually the most impactful.
The worst beer.
Valley Girl kind of started out as that.
Okay.
I'd say probably now it's one of the more fun ones. So we started up this test batch program, and we have like 8 taps dedicated to test batch beers and kind of one-off seasonal stuff. Those are definitely more on the fun end. We're doing the adjuncts, like with Chew here doing the Flantastico. That is fun. It's R&D. We don't know where we're going with it. We don't know what's going to come out of it, and we just try things. So I'd say that the test batch, everything that comes out of the test batch is fun. We did a Japanese rice lager that came out really nice.
I tried that earlier. It's like the perfect sushi beer.
Yep.
Nice and light.
We kind of modeled that after. The main goal was like the Kirin. Was it the full press or whatever? Their standard, any sushi place in the valley.
I appreciate that you like Kirin with your sushi.
I do.
People look at me like I'm crazy that I don't order Sapporo with my sushi. I always get Kirin.
I prefer Kirin.
Nice.
Yeah, Asahi's too dry. Sapporo's good, but and I used to drink Sapporo, but Kirin's just more going on.
Yeah. Sapporo makes a good IPA now.
They do.
Really? I didn't know Sapporo made any IPAs.
Stone fruit IPA. I don't know. I'd say just in general the test batch thing. As far as like production beers just kind of become work, right? You have
another day.
You're brewing this once a week. You kind of, I'd say the easiest one is probably Valley Girl. The worst is SchnuggleZ. Yeah, any kind of high protein beer is just it's delicious. A nightmare in the mash tun.
Delicious.
Just for cleaning reasons, or
no, just to squeeze the beer out of it.
Oh,
just to produce wort. It's tough. High protein beers, you use a lot of either wheat or rolled oats, and they tend to clog up the mash tun, get stuck mashes. So you have to be very, very careful. It takes honestly, I coming into this, we never kind of vowed we would never brew a hazy IPA, and after getting pushed on, and you guys need to do this, we finally did it. And I regret it.
Can I butt in?
But when you drink it, it's damn good hazy
Can
IPA.
I butt in?
So we're happy with it, but it's definitely stressful. It's a lot more difficult than I thought it would be.
Where did the name came from?
Bryan needs to answer
and the
this
logo,
one.
the label.
SchnuggleZ.
I don't think we really talk about that.
Okay.
But SchnuggleZ is a thing that you're required to do. And you might not want to do it, but you do it because people want it and good results happen. So,
are we still talking about beer?
What about SchnuggleZ?
I think the last time we all hung out, you were adamantly against making a hazy IPA.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So what changed? Why the hazy? Is it just because it sells, or the people demand it?
I'll like 100% honest. We tried to do this. I came up with a recipe, and which is very similar to what we have now. Just I did things slightly differently timing wise, It was a nightmare. It wouldn't come out hazy. The haze would drop out of it. It came out crystal clear. We didn't get hop aroma out of it. And then that just became a challenge.
Yeah.
Anytime I've been challenged or told by someone I can't do something or it's beyond you, I don't stop. so it just became a challenge. So I just kind of pushed and I think that's the only reason why we got it to where it was and embraced it.
Makes sense.
And Bryan pushed on me pretty hard.
And I think at that time too, we were at that growing stage where a lot of the beers we made were ones that we enjoyed drinking.
Yeah.
And when we would try the hazies that were on the market at that time, we didn't enjoy them.
Sure.
So we're like, we don't like the style of beer, so we're not going to make it. And then as we get requests for it, people want that, hey, you guys should make a hazy. And then that's exactly it. It became a challenge to Derrick. Like, you can't tell him, like, you can't do that because he'll figure out a way and be like, I did it. So it was just the right timing.
Yeah.
And it's a fantastic beer. It's one of our top movers. It's a core beer now.
Was it the first hazy you guys did?
Yeah.
And so everybody just kind of like
one.
latched onto it, like, hazy, yay, or.
And then it's been variations. Like the very first Snuggle release is not the same as it is now. So if you tried it in the beginning, try it now.
Evolves over time, and all right.
Untappd is a friend and a harsh critic.
Hello.
Oh.
So it's we absolutely listen to feedback.
Sure.
Every Monday I go through and read all the Untappd reviews and
Oh, you're so brave.
yeah. Oh no I reply.
Do you really?
Absolutely. If someone rates our gives our was it Gravity Hill like a 1 star because like,
Sorry.
they don't like freaking Belgians like.
I love hate reading the Untappd. Like, I've done a couple of collab beers with a couple of different breweries, and of course, as someone who doesn't brew regularly or professionally, I don't know how harsh people can be per se. And I go on there and it's like, this beer sucks. 2 stars. No reason why it sucks.
Yeah.
Just sucks. Or one of my favorites, and I think I've told this on the show before, was it was the collab we did with Pedals and Pints.
Yeah.
It's Guava Goza, and it was something like 2.5 stars. And the description said, not as good as Joey's. Who the F is Joey? Anybody know Joey over here? So anyways, Untappd is the devil. So all right, before we move on, tell us about the next beer in front of us.
Hell yes.
Hell yes.
Hell yeah.
An ode to Stone Cold Steve Austin. Cheers. Cheers, everybody.
This is how drunk I am. I'm sniffing my microphone.
How's it smell? Cheers, everybody that's out there. We're drinking the Hell Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Exactly. Tell us about this one.
Well, Hell Yes is a Hellyes lager. This is on our test batch list right now. Just that, a Hellyes. This is a. Wish I had Ardo to here to
Wait,
kind of
this is a
give
test
us some
batch?
pointers. Yeah.
Whose idea was this?
This was Ardo, our head brewer.
That's
Came up
good.
with this one.
So this is the first batch after the test batch.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
test pilots and then
Came out good, so you guys went full scale with it.
Yeah. Just kind of a basic Hellyes, light and crisp, and this is a standard 3470 lager yeast. Drinks easy, but you still get that nice rich malt background on it.
Yeah.
It's
nice and clean.
Saws hops on this one.
Yeah. Does anybody know what the ABV on this one is? Probably like 5-ish.
Yeah, I think we're like low 5s on it.
Low
I
5s.
can't remember.
anybody that's into fest beer, this would be warming you up for Oktoberfest.
Yeah. This is one of those good ones, like maybe if you were at Lagerville next year. Like,
Yes!
one of these guys. Hey, Lagerville people. Yeah, hells yes.
Let's go.
All we need is an invite.
Yeah, if anybody from Lagerville is listening, let's get this shit up there.
I'm sorry.
How do you? What makes you decide to go from test batch to full scale? Is there a benchmark? Is it just like, hey, I really like this, I want to keep
It's
drinking
good,
it?
bro.
I'm gonna
Choose the benchmark.
honestly, we've been very fortunate in the test batches we've made so far that most of them have kind of hit the mark. So we're starting to scale them.
Yeah.
We have our Clear Skies. Was it
Cold IPA.
Cold IPA? Yeah, that one. It's a 50-50 dry hop. We don't have it today. Unfortunately, we're all out. That was a test batch that's getting scaled up.
Okay.
50-50 dry hop with Cascade and Mosaic. It came out phenomenal. Fermented with lager yeast, 3470, and that's I don't know. We just anything we put on our we have a whole like layout of like bar manager has basically all the information on it, pushes our bar staff to promote it and everything,
Sure.
and get people's input on it. And then so he gets that and sends it back. Like, people love it. These things have been snapping off the list like crazy. So we're popping the taps, and we're just making more. So we haven't had anything that has turned out like, that was a goose egg yet. I'm sure we're going to get there very soon.
But back to Untappd. I mean, just rate it on Untappd. Leave us feedback if you like it. Come in.
And if you don't like it on Untappd, say something constructive.
Or say, why you don't like it.
If you don't feel comfortable saying it on tap, tell our beer tenders. Let them know. They're going to give the feedback to our bar manager.
Or tell Chew.
Sean, yeah.
Let Chew know. Slide in his DMs.
Let me know, and I'll tap that for you.
Yeah, exactly. He untaps everything. What's that process like when you're scaling up from test batch to full scale? I know you don't just go, I'm making double the amounts, I'm going to double the hops. I mean, it's a little more complex than that, right?
Yeah, we have a whole like profile on our brew house. So like we've done it a few times, and we understand roughly how we need to scale it up. So it's usually the big thing for us is understanding what the like the ABV, what your gravity is before you pitch your yeast and everything. So that's usually the toughest thing to kind of equate out. But we're at the point now we know our brew house, we can adjust things mid brew process to hit our target gravities, to get the right ABV. And then from then, it's just by taste. If you have something that's a little bit too hoppy, a little too sweet, you can adjust it on the next batch. It took us, probably the worst one was Matador Red. The Matador Red, we, like when we were on our 3.5 barrel system.
Which is one of my favorite. Have you guys had Matador Red?
Yes.
Oh, it's so good. This is where I fell in love with 818.
That was a tough one because you had all that rich caramel, touch of chocolate. It's a very complex beer malt-wise.
Yeah.
And going from a smaller batch system, like mid-production on Matador, we changed our system from a 3.5 barrel, which produces about 100 gallons, to a 10 barrel system, which produces roughly a little over 3 times that much. So 310 gallons. The malt profile changed, became more efficient. So we were able to get our gravity in the right place, but the malt didn't come through as much. So we had to actually bump up our malt bill to match it. So we brew it and we taste it. We have a very strong sensory panel between all the brewers, and we have a lab tech Julie that comes in and helps us with the yeast and also on sensory stuff. So
like
that's
super
one
nerdy
thing.
stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Super nerdy shit.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Last time we were here, Bryan, and I pulled this from the last show. You quote, "Did everything but make the beer, marketing, pay the taxes, etc." Is that still the same?
Pretty much. But I think what's happened since then, we that was during like opening phases and
Right.
all that.
That was 2018. Now you guys are coming up on 7 years.
It'll be 8 years
8
in
years.
August.
Math is hard.
We're a bigger distributing brewery now, so we distribute a little bit further. I don't know. I think we Derrick's jumped in that world a little bit, and we collaborate a little bit more on like marketing and business side. Everything is a mutual conversation. We're constantly conversating and scenarios and.
Is that because you're doing a little less brewing? You can kind of step into the business a little bit more.
Yeah, but
Look
I have
over
to say
Bryan's
the same
shoulder.
thing about Bryan as well. He's also jumped in and helped out with, like, if you taste something that seems a little different on the production beer. Bryan spends a little bit more time in the tap room than I do.
Quality control.
I was going to say research. Yeah, a little research.
So no, I mean he's got a great palate and he's been a huge amount of help on solving some of these problems. But now a lot of this we can divert to our brewery staff, and I'll give them kind of keys on things and they handle it. So yeah, a lot of it is it's opening up that time a little bit to dedicate to that. We run out to accounts together to check things out and see what beer's moving, what beer's not, what things help to push beer. A lot of it's just marketing details, and then all of a sudden, oh man, we're selling a lot of Alligator, a lot of Matador, a lot of First Stage.
It sounds like not only has your distro footpath expanded the last few years, you guys are expanding over here too.
Yes.
Can we talk about the super secret project next door?
Absolutely.
Everybody close your ears.
Earmuffs.
Earmuffs, please. Who's the sushi chef around here?
Derrick does more sushi, and a little bit more doughing.
I have a lot of a lot of sushi, a lot of of prepped sushi. If anyone's interested,
Yeah, if anybody's
because,
hungry, there's a bunch of fish laying around.
Because
For,
if you-
for those who don't know, next door was a sushi restaurant. It's been there for a bajillion years.
Yeah, Raku
and
Sushi.
you guys kind of partnered a little bit. They had your beers on tap, and I know like during COVID, they kind of helped keep you guys open by like having food over here, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
one way we survived was we had the tent outside.
Yeah.
And you had to have food, and that was one of our main reasons we're here.
Yeah.
And so recently, you guys took over the space.
Yeah, I guess a little bit of background that we had the previous owner, so it's changed hands. The original owner owned it during the pandemic, and they wanted to collaborate with us. We did the whole thing where we provided the tent, they pulled the license to have the outdoor space, and we provided beer to it and took their orders, and they supplied them. So that worked out really well. They ended up selling the business to someone else that ran it from afar. And it just kind of went downhill, and that owner approached us recently and wanted to kind of get out of it. So we took it over, and we're in the process of doing a big deep cleaning on the place and prepping it for a new concept.
Fabuloso.
Clean out all the grease traps and
There's a lot
soy sauce.
Well, that's one of the things we learned. Like COVID, people want food now when they come to
Yeah.
a brewery,
Yeah.
and you've seen a lot of breweries add food, and we have now a full kitchen that'll be at our disposal. So
Yeah.
a lot of fun stuff coming that direction. Just keep tuned in.
And is Chew going to be the taste tester over there, or he's not paying attention? It's fine.
No, if I eat
Yeah.
it, if it goes through right away, put it away.
Oh my! All right, before we talk about more stuff, let's drink the next beer that's in front of us.
Oh, yes.
Chew's excited. He's been pointing at me to drink this beer.
Let's go. I'm
Yeah.
thirsty.
SchnuggleZ, yeah.
SchnuggleZ.
Looks like
The one-
SchnuggleZ.
The one we're not allowed to talk about
The
where the name
difficult
came
one.
from.
I'll refrain
We
from
actually
descriptions.
I'll
did
step
it.
in real quick.
Please.
First beer to blow at the Thousand Oaks Chili Cook-Off.
Okay. So big props for SchnuggleZ at the chili
Yes.
cook-off.
I had a guy at my tent post it, brought a tent, put a campfire out, and all he did was give me his his glass to pour SchnuggleZ. He said it was the best beer he's had, not at the festival, his whole damn life.
Wow.
Homie was like
Those are big
85
words.
years old.
85? Is that what you said?
Old. I'm sorry. If you're listening, I might add a couple 20, but yeah, he's an older gentleman, really cool guy. He
Definitely retired.
kept bringing people over to drop their tickets in my my vase or my cup for as best brewery.
Sounds
at the
dirty.
festival.
Nice.
So we're actually in the process of getting Chew a shirt that to commemorate this called First to Blow.
That was fucking good.
Oh,
And then on the back it says I snuggle.
yeah. I snuggle first of all.
too.
So what?
Wait, sorry. The label's gonna be you and me showing.
Oh dear.
2 bears.
2 bears, one can.
Oh my. What goes? This is the one you were talking about with the
Yeah.
protein issues and all that good stuff. Talk about it a little bit. The hops that goes into it.
So on the malt side, it's a lot of wheat and rolled oats. Make this thing difficult. Oh man, what's the dry hop on this one? You guys get confused on this.
Citra, right? Mosaic?
Citra, Mosaic, and not Simcoe.
Azaka.
Azaka, that's what it is.
Nice. Classic.
So the beauty of these hops and what makes them really work and create this haze is the polyphenol of the content of the hop. So having that citra in brewer nerd terms, polyphenols are the part of the hops that helps support the haze. You need 2 components to create haze in a beer. Well, actually, I guess three components. You need the polyphenols from the hops. You need the protein from the mashed high protein malts like oats and wheat.
Right.
And then you need the yeast that creates that biotransformation that turns the polyphenols from the hops into that juice flavor, and then also keeps the protein in suspension and keeps it hazy. So good hazy after 3-4 months is still hazy, even if the hop profile has dropped off
Sure.
and it's become super rich and sweet. It's still hazy, and that's been the challenge for this one. There's so many different challenges: having a good nose on it, having texture when you drink it, having it juice-like, and then that preserved haze that doesn't drop off.
Yeah, I will say that. I mean, this is very juicy. It's great, and I don't always love hazies that come from the West Coast. I don't know if it's our water profiles or what, but a lot of times they just fall flat in the hazy category. This is a hazy through and through. This is delicious. This is juicy. It's a little chewy, if you will. Yeah.
There's a brewery down in Torrance that makes some great hazies, but that's pretty far from the valley. So
yeah,
if you're into hazies, come check us out.
Yeah, the hazies seem to be few and far between over here. Like, this is a great one. If you want to go north a little bit, like Made West is doing some great hazies in Casa.
Yeah.
But overall, it's no one's specialty for the most part around here.
Yeah.
So it's nice to find a good one every now and then.
And what you mentioned about the water profile, that is a very, very important part of it as well. Having a high chloride, chloride to sulfate ratio. This is 2-to-1 chloride to sulfate, and that enhances that body and other things. So I mean, we run reverse osmosis water on all of our beers.
So you get to make your own water.
Yeah, and we add back. So that's a big part of the hazy is that water.
Nice.
And as you can see, the thought process on pizza dough is in Derrick's.
Yeah, it's a little delayed with how many beers I've had so far. But,
Pizza dough. It's like pizza dough.
But yeah, next door is going to be pizza, by the way. We haven't already talked about that.
All right. I have some questions, and we'll just start with Derrick while Brian's getting us some beers. A couple of things we didn't cover on the first episode is like your history as a drinker. Where did it all begin? Like, were you pounding like wine coolers in high school? Was it Bartles and James?
No, we had Mickey's was a big one.
Mickey's.
Yeah, we do. We drink a lot of 40s.
Here, cozy up to
Mickey's
this
oldie. 211s.
He said 40s, guys.
Oh man, did I tell you about when I finished off a 6-pack of 211s?
Let's go.
Hold on. Tell everybody what a 211 is.
Wait, it's still reserved?
Steel Reserve. Yeah.
Wait, how old are you? I must be older than you because that shit came out when I was 20.
No.
Jesus Christ. How old are you?
I'm 40.
I'm 47, so yeah.
We're discovering things about each other on the show.
Sorry, I was a Mickey's guy. I was a Red Dog. Red Wolf, Ice.
Ice.
What about the Mad Dog?
Mad Dog.
Mad Dog 2020. Woo.
Dude, homie, let's go back to the old English 800.
Yeah. Well, so we started in the malt.
There you go.
All right.
But I don't know. So basketball, played ball my life, and that was like.
But you're so short,
Thursday
it
night.
doesn't make sense.
Was that?
So short, it doesn't make sense.
Muggsy Bowl, baby, Muggsy Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. So you played basketball.
And I mean that was the every Thursday night we play at my pastor's place. He had a little decent size like half court. Yeah, we'd have all the buddies over. We play, and this is kind of the inception of 818. But we play ball every Thursday, and that was the Coors Light, Bud Light, Miller Light. Those are the beers of the night. We drink beers in between rounds, and we get
as Gatorade.
We have tournaments going.
So instead of like around the world, you were just like drinking while playing basketball?
Oh no! When you're out, we have whole tournaments. It was legit. We'd have
Stay
tournaments.
hydrated, baby.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. When you're out, you got to pound a couple beers.
That's true. So you started off drinking, not the best stuff in the world.
Corporate beer. Right?
Yeah. Corporate. How did that shift to craft beer?
So that was one of the big ones. Brian would bring down. He went to school at Chico.
Oh.
So that
Chico.
Sierra Nevada Pale Ale was a staple.
Yes.
One of the OGs.
So I mean, Brian brought that. I'd say Brian was kind of the inspiration on that end, in multiple ways. And
Talking about SchnuggleZ?
no, we're talking about how we got the craft beer.
You gotta always have that primo that just brings the worst, right? Or the best out of you.
Primo ruined my life. Right? but so I mean, getting into Sierra Nevada, Brian brought that around.
Was
Boone's
it
Farm, man.
Boone's Farm?
Strawberry Hill, baby. We were at the same ditching party.
Yeah, the good
I was a
stuff.
little bit of a wino in the beginning.
Yeah. So how did that kind of come around to craft beer? When did you start getting into craft?
I went to Chico after going to Pierce College, Valley College, and then went up there for 2 years. Didn't really get immersed in the craft beer, but just pale ale, like Sierra Nevada had like Sierra Nevada wheat and Untappd bars, and came down here, and after transitioning, we started going to a bar called Crazy Harry's. Walked in there, mainly drinking still Bud Light, and Modelo, all that. And the beer tender was like, nah, let me show you some things, and just walked us through craft beer and hit Belgians. Belgian was my first La Fin de Bon.
Nice. Classic.
Tried it, and I was like, wow, that's beer? Are you serious? And then he talked about home brewing, and then it just from there, it's just like, hey, Derek, you heard about home brewing? Just with Derek, again, not being able to like say like you can't do it, or I want to take things apart, I want to make things. Let's try making beer. We can make it at home, and
here we are.
Some parties. So.
Nice. Chew, I'll ask you the same question. What was the OG getting drunk for you?
Honestly, it was it had the horse. Tasted like Heineken, but it wasn't Heineken.
Had a horse?
Yeah. God damn.
Did anybody drink crappy beer back in the day that had a horse on
green
it?
Green bottle, white lettering, had a horse on it. Yes, Rolling Rock. so okay. So when I was 18,
Leave it to BDN.
I worked at a grocery store, and as I turned 21, we had a mystery box, which is the banana box with all the breakage bottles.
It sounds dicey.
And you put them in for $20. You got 24 bottles of something. And I got one that had nothing but Rolling Rock in it. And after that, when I took that to my homies, and they were drinking Bud Lights and Modelos, they didn't want to drink my stuff because it was different. So
different.
Guess what? Chew Your Beer, a.k.a. homie back in the days, drank all the Rolling Rock, and no one touched it. So that's how, little by little. So when you brought up the question to, what is it, Bass Ale, Triangle, all those old school micro breweries is what I started getting into, and then the one that caught me was Newcastle. I know it's not independent. I know it's not right. There you go, Coley's thumbs up.
Yeah.
So Newcastle, went for Newcastle, and then they had a Halloween beer, Werewolf. Man, I got hooked on that stuff, and then from there it just went down, not uphill, downhill. Because what? Downhill's a lot easier. Independent. Lagunitas, Stone.
Back in the day.
Arrogant Bastard to me was like a fucking slap in the face. What the hell is this? But amazing beers, and then started looking locally and started finding local beers, and that's where I fell in love with A18.
Nice.
You're drinking Arrogant Bastard for a while, right?
Yeah, I think everybody went through an Arrogant Bastard phase.
No, I still do, man. She's still good, bro.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that was
Shit. You want fucking hair on your nuts? Drink a fucking Arrogant Bastard.
Oh, get the razors out. All right. Let's take a couple listener questions, and then we will also try the next beer that's in front of us.
Ooh.
I'm going to go through these in no particular order. Anthony wants to know, why the name OG Chew Your Beer?
All right, so OG Chew Your Beer. The original was Chew Your Beer, and that was taken. So I had to go OG Chew Your Beer. But OG Chew Your Beer, basically the name, I know who Anthony is. I'm looking at you. Chew Your Beer. To me, when you drink beer, when you're at my level, you don't drink it to get drunk. You actually drink it.
You're already there.
And you process the flavors and the hard work like Derek went through to make that beer to get you drunk. So Chew Your Beer is like you don't drink it no more. You drink it with your homies, but you talk to your homies about what you're drinking.
Derek's over here like, that's cute, but I'm getting fucked up.
Let's go.
Yeah. No, I like that description. You don't drink it to get drunk, but you drink it to appreciate it to get drunk.
Exactly. You appreciate your way to drunk.
The path.
and then the OG part.
There you go. And then the fucking price to get drunk.
Steven wants to know, what was the creative process? Who wants to? Derek?
I don't know. I think that's a...
What was the creative process?
Steven.
Question.
Steven is next to Anthony. Homie, the process was passion.
Step one.
And not, the passion of what you enjoy. But here's what I'm telling you. It's the community, like you and your boys. That's your little community. So my community is these guys, but then it extends to you. And everybody else around that appreciates what you like and accepts it, and then they decide to make it happen.
Good dissertation. I'd imagine this question's for Chew because it comes from your son, Foo.
Órale, vato.
It says, what does this beer mean to you?
This beer means to me a legacy. As a father, as a son. I'm not the Holy Spirit yet,
Give it time.
but this to me means like something I created with you because you were here when we did it. So the day that I'm not around and A1A decides to keep making it happen, it's something you could bring your sons with and enjoy this. It's a legacy, something I leave behind, not only but in flavors, but in memory with you.
So what I hear is you're not. Yeah. Basically, when Chew's gone, you're not getting any money. You're just getting some beer. So
It's memories, man.
hope it's
Memories
good.
is worth more than money.
All right, before we do any more questions, let's talk about this dark,
Valhalla.
sexy beast that's in front of us. What the heck is this thing?
That's the Valhalla Vanilla. This is last year's Valhalla release, aged in Heaven Hill barrels. It's basically like an intensified version of our Black Cat Moan. Let it rest on vanilla beans before we aged it in whiskey barrels.
I think you guys brought this to Pasole Palooza.
Pasole
did, yeah.
Palooza. If you weren't there, you a loser.
You a Pasole Luza.
Yeah. Finally, Chew's using that microphone.
Yeah, you're gonna get definitely a lot of chocolate, some espresso.
Delicious.
Plenty
So good.
of vanilla.
Yeah, a lot of vanilla, a little bit of coffee on there.
Yeah.
And what was this, like 13%, I think?
I think it's around there.
Yeah, it does not
Only.
drink like it's 13%.
Only.
Going after 13. Something.
Yeah, it is. It's dangerous.
13 for sureños.
Chew's gonna have 4 of these before he drives home.
Pour it in my tank, bro, so I can get home.
This is one of the ones you still put in bottles, right?
We do. Yeah, we have plenty of this here at the brewery. So stop by and grab some vanilla Valhalla. We also have cacao and coconut.
Coconut, baby.
Look, I don't think it's a secret. I love great cans for beer, but this is just, it's sexy when it's in a bottle.
You know, we tried doing cans.
Oh,
we
really?
tried. Was it 2 years ago? We tried doing.
Last year's or 2 years ago. Yeah.
We tried doing. We tried doing pints of our Valhalla Black Cat Moan, which is basically what this beer is.
Okay.
And but untreated, just straight up barrel aged beer, no other adjuncts to it. And we also used our Baltic Porter, aged in Heaven Hill barrels as well. And we canned it. We put a badass label on it. No one wants to buy it. It's a great beer. It's freaking hot.
It's scary, though.
It's scary hot.
But it's in a can. I agree.
The can doesn't sell a beer.
When you want to
sell barrel aged beer, yeah.
When you want a big ass barrel aged beer, it's sexy in a bottle.
It does. It needs to be wax dipped too.
Yeah.
You need to go all the way.
Yeah, little wax dip, nice, just simple
32
label.
ounce bomber.
Yeah,
what do they call
bomber.
those big fucking cans?
Yeah, none of that bullshit that Firestone introduced with like, here's your little sample of a bottle. No, we want a bomber of this stuff.
What is that big? Not the bomber. What is the bigger bomber? The Stone used to do in their
I thought you were making
Magnum
shit
beer?
up.
Magnum.
Wine bottle.
This is a Magnum beer. This is a
750.
This is a Christmas holiday fucking Magnum beer that you put a bow and you put it under Chew's fucking Christmas tree.
Wow, Chew's getting angry.
And the next rare edition of this beer is a secret. Hopefully, I make this happen with Derek, but I want to put capirotada with this beer.
What?
It's a Mexican dessert. We'll talk later.
Okay.
Mexican bread pudding.
Chew started with 2 Schnuggles this morning.
And some
Not only
shots.
that, I had a couple beers before I got here.
He had some
and a
shower
shot of
beers
whiskey
and a shower. Yeah.
just to calm me down.
Yeah. I'll aim this one at Bryan. This comes from Elvia. She says, how do you make your beer, or how do you make sure the beer and the brewery stays connected to the local area?
First off, just naming wise, we're definitely community based, and when we make a beer, we try and think of something that relates to in the valley or in the design process of that beer. Like, we're going to make this, and this is going to be the name. I see that being the main process. Like, main process would be just trying to find something that associates, or Matador Red, Sea Sun, Valley Girl. That's just a generational keyword,
Right.
And so Gravity Hill is our the urban legend up in Sylmar. So that's what we do, and Yeah. So anybody has any ideas on other Valley, like just urban legends or trinkets about the Valley?
Can we
Send them over.
Can we collab on a beer called This Traffic Sucks? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
This one comes from Nameless, but they say, we'll start with you, Chew. We'll work our way down. What's your favorite style of beer?
Favorite style of beer, honestly, is a pale ale, IPA, lager. Then we go dark lager.
Is this all one beer?
Back it up, stout. No, I'll give you my whole fucking list. I'll give you my Christmas list, homie.
Are you just going down the BJCP like score sheet at this point? What the fuck is this?
I'm here.
Yeah. All right. We'll move on to Brian, who might just give us 1 or 2 answers instead of 10.
Yeah, I'm gonna say IPA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Clear or hazy?
Yeah. Now we get tricky.
Uh-oh. Here's where we curse the East Coast.
Yeah, and
West Coast, yo.
I think I have transitioned over to the hazy.
Oh, he's going biggie. He's going biggie. All right.
Biggie. But if you're gonna choose a coast,
West Coast is the best coast.
So I drink a lot more lager now.
Yeah.
Just to make life easier. But I'd say West Coast is my favorite.
Nice.
Yes.
All right. This question is for Chew. This comes from Scotty B.
Yo, that's my boy, man.
It's a 3-parter. He wants to know, are you ever coming to Fresno again? When? And which brewery in Fresno do you want to visit the most?
Scotty B, that's my boy. Scotty B is the one that hooked me up with making chocotazo in Fresno. So Scotty B, I will be back in Fresno, depending on the time and date. You know, Tioga Sequoia, homie. All day, every day. Tioga Sequoia, maybe for even Rush Hour. They do a beer called Rush Hour.
Okay. I thought
They get with 3 different coffee roasters. They make a stout, and they use those 3. You go up, you vote on the best coffee you like, the best stout you like with coffee, and then that's the coffee they'll use for the rest of the year.
now that Derrick walked away, maybe that's the next collaboration.
My heart stays here in A18.
Fresno collaboration.
Oh,
Like a
Tioga and A18.
Like a trifecta.
Collabo?
Chew.
Oh, a Chew Ale Trail?
Like, what about like a Choco Flantastico?
Damn. Yo, I got the rights back to that. So that's coming back to A18 Brewery, man.
Oh, shit. This one's also for Chew. This comes from Miguel. He says, the question is for Chew. Chew, what is your end goal for your new product?
My end goal is to have this here 24/7.
Right.
And make it an A18 staple. So Acapulco will go away. El Torito will go away, but A18 will always stay.
All right. This one comes from Sid, also for Chew. Chew, I know you also love to cook and barbecue and drop your phone. What are some of your favorite food recipes using your favorite beer?
Carne asada. Beer can chicken. Fish tacos, homie. I use Valley Girl Blonde for my fish tacos. I use Valley Girl Blonde for my carne asada. For my seasoning, for my marinades, I use Valley Girl Blonde for my fucking Valley Girl, homie. That's
Got
it.
Valley Girl.
You want more?
No.
I used Reseda Rye for my IPA bread that I made. It was too bitter, so I'm gonna have to go with Valley Girl again.
Fair. AA Ron messaged in. He says, hey, y'all, AA Ron from Integrin. I need a hot take. Cold IPA or India Pale Lager?
Oh, hell no. That cold IPA is just basically a lager IPA, homie.
IPL.
IPL. AA runs the sales rep for the Ventura County Integral.
I'd say, I don't know. You guys created it.
Oh, snappity snap.
Which one? The IPL or the cold IPA?
That whole situation.
I vote for IPL. This comes from Rocks. Chew, what age did you have your first beer?
My first beer at what age? God damn, man. I was probably wearing fucking diapers. Sneaking in. You know, your pops is hanging out at a barbecue with the compadres, and you drink its water, but it's fucking Budweiser, or it's back.
Same thing.
I don't think Modelo was around back then in the valley. So Budweiser, Michelob, not even MGD, because MGD came in the 90s. So
Yeah, the High Life?
maybe a High Life, a champagne, a beer.
There we go.
A Coors.
Don't send that shit to Belgium. They'll dump
maybe
it out.
it was Coors Banquet because my pops. I started drinking Coors Banquet for a while, and my pops says like he remembers drinking that
Okay.
around the when we were kids. So yeah.
Would you ever consider opening your own brewery?
Yes or no? It's too much fucking work.
Don't do it.
If you open a brewery, you know you're not going to make money. But it's
Derek
the
knows
passion.
all about it.
And Derek knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
If anything, I'd probably open a restaurant before I open a brewery.
And just sell Derek's beers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just straight
I
A1A.
see. There we go. I think we can run down the line on this one, especially if Brian makes his way back. This comes from Jonathan, and he says, hey, guys. Oh, then why do you put Jonathan? Hey, guys, it's Mike from the Taproom Podcast. I got to ask, what's the worst hangover you guys ever had, and what were you drinking?
Tequila. Halloween. I was dressed as Walter Mercado.
What now?
It's a fucking horoscope reader from fucking Canal 34.
Okay.
And by the end of the fucking night, I was fucking Juan Graviel.
Wow. we can all tell Chew's been drinking at this point.
I'm sipping.
Derek, worst hangover you had? What were you drinking?
So what I had mentioned before, the 211s. When I drank that, I don't know, that's a six pack? I think it was a six pack.
A
Six pack or a 12 pack? I don't know. I usually drink a lot more
Those
than
are
I do now.
tall boys, bro.
I had no. Okay. The worst was I had one night. It was a 30-pack night, and that was from 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. And it was mixed, but it was all big beer, lighter beers, whatever, Budweiser, the Coors Light, or whatever. But yeah, and I blacked out. But the next day I heard about. Apparently, I become the Incredible Hulk at about 2 a.m. after a 30-pack.
You started like breaking stuff?
Yeah, breaking stuff, tackling people, and laughing afterwards, and then they get upset about it, and things happen.
That's their problem.
But yeah, that was my worst.
Nice.
And the next day was rough.
Brian, the question is, what's the worst hangover you've ever had, and what were you drinking?
Worst hangover would be started with Red Bull vodka, ended with Stella's. At
Sugar water?
At Padres Martini Bar in a group.
Nice. I think, at least in the most recent years, the worst hangover I ever had was I went out drinking with Wiley from the Booze League. And that motherfucker.
Where's he at?
Where's Wiley?
Oh, yeah. He. No. We're not cheering for him.
No, that's the call of the Wiley.
Oh, okay, good. Is that like Raul Mondesi?
Exacto, Mando.
That guy made sure we went out drinking all night, made sure we had no food, and he goes, hey, you want to split some nachos?
Split.
I had one nacho. He fucking inhaled them. And we were doing whiskey shots. We were drinking beer. The end of the night, I was so shittered that I attempted to call my wife. Not yet my wife. I don't know why she married me. And on the other end, she hears... to the point where he had to pick up the phone and go, I'm getting him an Uber and sending him to you. The next day I threw up 9 times.
What's so terrible of that is I've done that with so many of my friends. I feel very regretful now.
I don't throw up.
You don't throw up?
Not when I drink. When I'm sick, yes. But when I throw up, I don't. I'm very... It's not me.
When you
my
throw up,
body.
you don't?
My body is very well...
But my body.
My body
Do you internalize it?
Yeah, ask the wife, ask the kid. You don't know when I'm drunk.
That's impressive.
I'll clean the fucking house.
I'm a little jealous. But there's nothing better than like a bootin' rally because you feel fantastic the next
When you
day.
see me at 3 a.m. cleaning the house after everybody left, you know I'm drunk.
Can you guys?
And that's only because I want to sleep in.
Yeah.
You guys can do like boot and rally. Like to me, it's just an instant hangover. I
Oh,
can't do
really?
it. Yeah, I can't do it.
Wait, so talking about hangovers, what's your hangover cure?
Hangover cure?
Pozole.
Menudo.
Yeah.
Man, it's okay. So my wife is menudo. I am chilaquiles.
Chilaquiles is great. I'm Team Pozole with a Diet Dr. Pepper. I need that Diet Dr. Pepper in my life.
Pozole, you don't eat pozole for breakfast, though, man.
Yes, you do.
No.
That's all I do. I only eat it for breakfast.
That's not true, bro.
Maybe it's a gringo
Do
thing.
you know why? Because you're not in the A18.
Pozole and SchnuggleZ.
Chilaquiles and
Yeah.
fucking black Coffee.
Oh, coffee. Okay. And then our final listener question is: what is your process for developing a new recipe?
We have like an internal thread with our brewery, with our tasting room. We usually try to get input from the beer staff, from what they hear from customers, what they want. So there's a little bit of that. We also have our brewers that have things they want to see.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a combination of just a customer, requirement, or what they want, and then also the internal staff. I don't know. I mean, we kind of go by that. We
Also, our distro team kicks in some ideas, and that's the whole point of our test pilots, which Flantastico is on, is to try new things.
Yeah.
And but as far as actual like details and recipe and all that comes to Derrick and Ardo to. I think Flantastico is a perfect explanation of the description you heard from Chew earlier, and then Derrick interpreted that and put it into the liquid form. That's what Derrick does. I mean, it's pretty wild, and this is the first brew of this batch. So that was the idea. Derrick took that and got with Ardo, and they created something from a verbal explanation and nailed it.
Yeah.
Like that's just wild. That's just
the hard part is like I wanted to go a different direction. I wanted to go more caramel malt, make it like amber, and really get that caramel. Ardo, our brewers, said, "Hey, let's restrict this with tres leches to get like more of almost that creme brulee, kind of thing going." And we threw that back to Chew. He's like, "No, you guys don't use all these adjuncts. You guys go straight up. Use just your core ingredients with your mash, and fermentation, and try to make it happen, and use that vanilla." So we came back. We're like, "Hey, let's try it." We were both very nervous about using the coffee beans. Is how strong they are.
Trust me, homie.
And it added that extra complexity. And it came out exactly how he. It was the weird thing. It came out exactly what he was explaining.
and that's collaboration. That's awesome.
Because you don't get that. I mean, everybody's going to have their own ideas of how they want to try to do something from their experience or from what they've heard, and the more energy you have, the more information you have from other people, the better things are going to be. So we're happy with how it worked out, and we appreciate that.
I'm glad you listened.
I always listen.
No, I'm not stubborn, but I'm very. I know what I like, and I know what other people like. So something sweet to me was very iffy, and by adding the
dulce de leche,
would have thrown it over, and then it wouldn't have become flan. It would have become something different.
But I think we still need to try to do that, though.
When you barrel age it, then we can do that. So
okay.
I give you, release that to you if you barrel. But if you barrel, I want some Jefferson barrel.
So this is how it happens.
Get some guy coming to the tap room and be like, "Hey, make this now. Put it in some barrels."
No. It doesn't happen like that. It takes a lot of time and a lot of trust.
Right.
Is that the correct word?
It's more like this. It's like, "Hey, here's some pozole. It's amazing. Now you got to make my beer."
Let me feel your belly.
Yeah.
What did it say? A weight of man's heart is through his stomach.
There you go.
I got 2 big ass stomachs to fill.
You got 2. All right. That, I believe, is everything. You guys, thank you so much.
One thing I want to say.
I
dedicate this beer to my wife.
Yay, Gloria!
Chew wifey.
Mrs. Chew.
And since we're getting sentimental,
Yeah, let's do it.
I just want to tell Chew, we love you, man. Hey, we love you. You've been talking about a collaboration for probably before we opened. I think once we signed up on Instagram that said 818 Brewing, you were
first one.
You were there. You came on our podcast that no longer exists. There's a lot of things that you
podcast. What was that?
I had the first Colima Brewery beer from you guys.
Yeah. And you've been pushing this collaboration for years, and
You finally broke them down.
But you're dealing with a brewery that the owners are heavily involved, and I think you know this now. Before this, Derrick's grinding on shit next door, and and we're heavily involved in this business and perform a lot of the activities that happen. And I told you to stay persistent. Just stay on Derrick. He'll like we have this new test batch coming. Just stay on him, and you did. And we want to do this, and I'm glad we were able to finally do it. And but we love you, and
Love you back, homie.
Yeah.
You got baptized by kids.
and the family, and the Pozole, and
The Pozole Palooza number 2. This is 2023 Pozole Palooza. If you ain't there, you a loser.
Can we expect a keg of this at Pozole Palooza this year? Please and thank you.
oh, some pizzas at the Palooza.
Oh,
Pozole pizza? What? Let's go.
pizza Pozole Palooza.
Oh, sounds good.
Pizza Pozole. I'm gonna stop trying. All right, I believe that's everything. You guys, thank you so much for having us here.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, Chew, thanks for getting us involved. And for those of you listening at home, if you've not been to 818 Brewing, it's 8953 DeSoto Avenue, Canoga Park, and it's also at 818 Brewing on the socials.
Shout out to Flex. Flex me a beer. Yo.
Good. Okay, great. Follow Chew at OG Chew Your Beer _ on the gram. We are at Craft Beer Republic and craftbeerrepublic.com. You guys, thank you so much for the beer.
No, thank you.
Yeah, and thanks for the space and for hanging out and yeah, all that good stuff. Thank you guys. I love this. I hope everyone out here is staying, and it feels like it, very well hydrated. And on that note, good night, everybody.
Good night.